Well, welcome back, my friends. Okay, what do you need to do to determine the proper value of an inherited home? All right, if you've been following me, this is part 4 of my series on what you need to do if you inherit a home. All right, if you have recently inherited a home and you might be wondering, how do I figure out what the home is really worth? You've come to the right place because Mo's here and we're ready to get you to know what all you need to know. All right, it's not always as simple as looking up a number online. There are steps that you'll need to take to get the most accurate value on whether you plan to sell, rent, or keep the property that you have just inherited. So in today's video, I'll cover how to do your own research on your property. Why is this important? All right, first thing you need to do is you need to get in touch with the executor. What the cost base means for an inherited home, using a realtor versus doing it on your own, or how to prep the home for an appraisal or a court evaluation. And finally, some surprises that might pop up along the way. There's always surprises in any transaction. All right, stick with me because understanding the value is the first big step towards making the right decision for your family. Hey, I am Annette Marble, your favorite key realty agent in and around Central Ohio. Do your own research before calling in any professionals. You can do some primary research yourself. All right, check sites like Zillow, I can't believe I actually said that, or Realtor.com to see what your homes nearby are selling for recently. Can't believe I even said that. Look for properties that are similar in size, age, condition to the one that you've inherited. Schools are specific too. Drive around the neighborhood, see if any homes are for sale and are any for sale signs popping up and what those prices and what they're asking for those homes. This won't give you a final number, but it will help you understand the local market and set some realistic expectations. Those people who are out of town that inherit a home have no idea. All right, number 2, when you get in touch with the executor, when dealing with inherited properties, you're gonna want to connect with the executor of the estate. And if you're the executor, you need to know these things. The executor is the person legally responsible for managing the estate and making sure everything is handled properly, including the home. Now, I told you, do your own research and prep work, but ultimately, it's the executor who has the authority to sign the documents and move things forward. So staying in great communication with them is the key. Now, here's where it can get a little technical. All right, understanding the cost basis. One of the biggest questions is going to be, what is the home worth for tax purposes? This is where the cost basis comes in. All right, so don't forget about that. And number 4, using a realtor or doing it on your own as a FSBO, for sale by owner. You have 2 main options. On your own, you can order an appraisal and research the sales data, or even use an online evaluation tool. These might work if you're just curious and just not ready to sell. You really need to get a professional to give you an exact market value. So don't do actual figures of the market value. With a realtor, a local real estate professional can provide you with a comprehensive market analysis, a CMA, which looks at all the recent sales of the similar home. Realtors also know how to factor in the condition, the updates, the location, things online tools just totally miss, like Realtor.com and Zillow. Eek! All right, and if you're serious about selling, have a realtor involved is usually the best way to get an accurate, realistic value of the buyers that the buyers will agree with. All right, let's talk about the IRS allows a step up in basis for inherited property. That means the home's value resets to what the home was worth on the date the loved one had passed away. Said this in the other video, so I think I'm like repeating myself, but I'm not. I just want to make sure we throw that in there. It's not what they paid for. So if your parents bought a home decades ago for $80,000 and it's now worth $250,000 today, your cost basis is going to be $250,000. What does that matter, or why does that matter? It's because when you eventually sell, you'll only pay capital gains on the difference between the sales price and the stepped up basis. knowing this number is critical to understanding the true value of that property. Okay. All right, let's talk about before the valuation is done. Let's prep the home. Prep it. Clean and declutter. All right, the home may look like make a big difference on how it's valued. Decluttering and cleaning out personal items are always key, and that's always the first step. So do the basic repairs. Fix those leaky faucets, patch holes, touch up paint, take care of the yard because first impressions matter. Curb appeal. Don't feel the need that you have to fully renovate, but presenting a home in its best light helps professionals and potential buyers see its full potential. All right, number 6. All right, surprises are always going to pop up. In my life, that's a daily event. So when figuring out the home value of an inherited home, a few surprises, they're going to sometimes surface up. You may not know about liens or unpaid property taxes that will help reduce the value of the home. Repairs you didn't expect, like an old roof or foundation issues. Sentimental value versus market value. Families may feel the home is worth much, much more because of the memories, but the market doesn't always agree with that. So, and at sometimes hidden treasures like discovering hardwood floors under old carpet, under old shag carpet, or original features that buyers just completely love. So being prepared for these surprises will help you adjust expectations and move forward confidently. So to determine the value of an inherited home, all right, takes a mix of research, legal awareness, professional guidance, and it starts with your own research. So connect with the executor, or if you're the executor, understand the cost basis, and then decide if you want to tackle it on your own or use a realtor. Time is money. Remember that. And remember, prepping a home and being ready for a few surprises can make all the difference in the world. So if you are in Central Ohio and need help in understanding the value of an inherited home, reach out. I'd love to provide a market analysis for you and walk you through the whole process. And don't forget, we're always in and around Central Ohio. And we're what? We're always keeping it real here in Real Estate with Annette Marble and Associates. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it helpful. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my next tips and tricks in the real estate market. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all soon.